Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 112 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor and Damon. How's it going, guys?
Good. I'm already thinking about episode 150. I'm past 112.
Well, that's pretty far off. I mean,
I know. We have big things planned.
Do we?
Yeah.
All right.
I thought my idea was really good. I thought that was super fun.
Yeah, sure.
We'll have to do some more brainstorming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have one plan.
There could be multiple plans.
We need several plans. Yeah. We got to have more plans than just the one. So, Well, I mean, we're still
better than episode 100, though.
Yeah. So
I don't know if the video will be, but
the video of episode 200?
150 will be as good as 100, but we'll do cooler things than the bag. I think that's cooler than the bag. The bag was cool, but
yeah, the bag was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Bit of a teaser there, but
yeah, there you
let
go.
people think on that one.
Yeah, wait 38 weeks from now, and then you'll then you'll be there. So I guess that's toward the end of the year at this point, right? So 38 weeks from now, yeah. So what is that, November maybe?
It's perfect timing because again, it should coincide with
maybe October
before Christmas. So
yeah, that's true. All right, well, we got some listener questions. We should go through some of these. Anybody want to read the first one from Becky?
No.
All right. Becky says, any thoughts about DVC doing that 4 nights, get the 5th night free at Aulani? I know Hawaii tourism is in desperate need, but was I the only one thinking how insane it was that since these were things booked with points, just adding an extra night seemed much more interesting than if it were catch days. So I did get that email. I did think it was kind of interesting. I would love to go to Hawaii, but I mean, not right now. I mean, not the place to go for me right now. That's a long plane ride, and I just, less for Trevor, but still a lot of plane ride.
It's still a long plane ride.
Yeah. Shorter than our plane ride though would be. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting offer. I do think it's kind of neat that they're doing a thing where they're adding a day, with being booked with points. I'm not sure how they make that work out financially. I guess I don't know how that works, but whatever. I mean, if that's the offer they want to have, then cool.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just purely a symptom of the fact that things were closed down for a while, and it feels like Aulani is kind of separate from everything else, right? And I wonder if, Aulani specifically, they're looking and going, well, we know that we're not going to have, the same volume of people going to Florida. So, they need to sweeten the pot a little bit. And they probably have enough leftover points or points that have, I can't remember what the term is for it. But yeah, basically like points that they can turn into cash or whatever, that they can probably offer this without causing a financial hit. And at that, it's probably... anyone that takes them up on it is probably of a benefit to them right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a good deal. It's like the ticket deal, right? Where you add 2 days for the 4 days. I mean, Disney's doing these things to get people through the doors, right? And that's what they need. So, all right.
Yeah. All right. So people are asking hard questions this week.
Yeah, they are really hard.
Yeah.
This is really. I don't know the answer to this. I don't think anyone does. Right.
So all right. So Paul asked, or he doesn't ask a question actually. He says, I would love to have a discussion about how resale restrictions will affect non-Riviera resorts. In 2042, what is that? Boardwalk, Beach Club, and what's the last one? BRV.
That would be
Boulder Ridge. Oh, Boulder Ridge. Too many BE acronyms there. So as of 2042, those three resorts all roll off. As you think about buying direct versus resale, nobody ever talks about the fact that direct buyers will have access to the next version of these resorts in 2043 and beyond. I know 2043 is a ways off, but people thinking about buying into DVC, I would think that buying direct and getting access to those 3 resorts beyond 2042 would be a key selling point. The short answer, yes, but probably not for another 10 to 15 years, honestly.
Yeah.
So I know where Paul's head is with this, but yeah, it's just way too early. It's so far out that, we're not thinking about that right now. They're not even selling that as an incentive, on buying direct is, hey, these new resorts are going to come up to replace the old ones, or they're going to redo the structure around them or whatever when those contracts run out. But yeah, we're talking, we're 20 years out. Like, yeah. A lot can change between now and then.
Yeah, it's still pretty far off here, and I don't think we know how that's going to look, when that comes up. So, I don't know. I think it's hard to know what's going to happen 22 years from now. So, yeah, I don't really know. I don't have a good answer for this, or I don't even know what the discussion we could be about it, because we really don't know what that's going to look like. So,
yeah, exactly.
It's an interesting question, though. I feel like we've had a discussion about this before, but.
Yeah, I feel like we did it a long time ago, but again, the problem is that everything that we could talk about is just purely speculation, because, Disney really doesn't reveal their hand until things are, a couple of years out. So even with this, I wouldn't see Disney selling, direct membership saying, hey, in 10 years, we're going to be building this resort, because that's really a non-selling point for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
So, Damon, you wanted to thank somebody?
Yeah, I mean, we have a new picture for the group. Ellie sent it over to us, so I just thought that was very nice. I actually like it. I don't say I like it better than Tom's picture. It's different. We needed a little bit of a change as the group continues to grow. It's always nice to get a new picture, so I just wanted to thank her for taking the time while at Disney to get those 2 great pictures for us.
Yeah, it's I think it's one of the new buses, as opposed to the picture I took. I think was one of the old buses. So it gets a little bit of a different look, right? So it's nice.
Yeah, hopefully she was safe doing that and didn't just jump out in front of a bus.
That's what I did. I just jumped in front of a bus. Yeah.
Listeners, don't do what Tom did. Don't jump.
Yeah, jump in front of a bus and take a picture. Kristen wants us to try to convince Damon to stay at either Poly or Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't care enough.
I can't win this one, honestly.
Well, I don't think we can convince Damon of anything.
That's true.
It's true.
Honestly, knowing Damon and his family dynamic and everything, Poly's just not the resort for him. And that's fine.
It's not that. So again, we were there during the worst thing that probably happened in Disney history, right? So that was the first thing, being at Poly. And then the second thing is that I just don't care enough between the two, and our friends that we travel with are at Animal Kingdom, so it's not liking one or the other better. It's just really care.
Just
I don't like the food at Animal Kingdom, though. That's the only thing. So between these two, again, like, I just don't care.
Well, I think I mentioned in the last episode, I'm taking a trip now and at the end of April, and we actually were able to get rooms at Boardwalk, so I'm pretty excited to stay. Yeah, I do too. I'm excited to stay at Boardwalk again. I think that'll be fun, and especially I was shocked that I was able to get them with the Flower and Garden Festival going on, because usually when there's festivals going on, those Epcot resorts right there are a little bit more challenging to get rooms at, because you can just walk right into the back of Epcot. But we're only going to be there for a couple days. It's just like a long weekend kind of thing. So. But yeah, so I'm excited to stay at Boardwalk. I knew I wouldn't have to convince you to stay at Boardwalk, Damon. So
no, I do like Boardwalk.
Yeah. So go ahead, sorry, Trevor.
I was going to say, and I feel, trying to convince, whether it's Damon or anybody else to stay at the Poly, I honestly don't want to convince people to stay there.
He wants to convince people not to stay there, so it's easier for him to book.
Well, I never have a problem booking it. It's just, it feels like, it's kind of, I kind of found that nice sweet spot where, like, I can get to Magic Kingdom easily and Epcot and stuff without too much stress, and it's just that right place. It's like one of those when you know it's right, kind of thing. And I don't want to sell other people on it, honestly.
You want it to be your hidden gem.
Yes, I do.
I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So Dan wants to know, with the upcoming release of Raya and the Last Dragon, what is your favorite Disney dragon?
Jake.
Yeah, that's the easy one. Jake Long.
Tom probably doesn't even know who that is, though, Trevor. So
yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
Exactly.
American Dragon, Jake Long. It's a series that was on a few years ago. It's still not on Disney Plus yet, but definitely watch it when you get a chance.
It's coming, though.
Yeah.
2005, it was. 2 seasons, super good show, but it will be coming to Disney Plus soon enough.
I'll admit I went down a bit of a rabbit hole looking up dragons and realized that there's way more dragons in Disney than I realized.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my answer to this is easy, though, right?
Figment.
I mean, of course it's Figment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say, Damon?
No, I said that there are a lot. I mean, Figment's cool, but nah, he's not Jake Long.
Yeah, I don't. Well, since I don't know what you're talking about, then
it's so terrible. It really is.
I've never even heard of that, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty terrible.
Damon, I saw you weren't feeling the trailer for that movie.
I mean, it's really good until the dragon. The problem is the dragon's terrible.
I'm not gonna lie, the dragon's voice and general demeanor.
It's the hormone monster from Big Mouth, and that's terrible. It's not terrible because Big Mouth's funny, but
yeah, but it just surprised me when I heard the dragon start talking. I was like, oh, that's not what I expected from this.
No, and the thing is, it's very like genie-ish, right? Like, so the first thing we hear is the dragon using an American saying, relating back to, being in a project and the other person doesn't work on it. Like, it just
like fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, very much so, but not in a cool Aladdin way. I guess that's probably not just an American thing, as an everywhere thing. It just seems like something that dragon shouldn't know.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really think of it that way. I just when I heard the dragon talk, I was like, oh, that's, I just kind of didn't expect that coming from the dragon. I mean, it looks cool though.
The baby's funny though.
Yeah,
that's cool. Fun. Like I can suspend disbelief for that, but yeah, it looks good though, and it may be the first one that we purchase on the day of, right? Like it looks that good. It looks amazing, and I think the aspect of the different tribes and the fantasy and the martial arts, it looks really good. But the dragon's brutal,
which is supposed to be the focal point of the story.
Yeah,
yes, that's correct. Yeah. This is off topic, but I started watching Dinosaurs on Friday because that is now on Disney Plus, and I kind of remembered it from when I was a kid. I remember having a board game of dinosaurs, and I also vaguely remember like McDonald's toys. I think
yes,
yeah. There were McDonald's toys, right? Yeah. But I didn't remember much about the show itself. But I found myself I watched maybe like 3 episodes of it, and it was not what I remembered, but I enjoyed it. It was it doesn't hold up as well, but I'm amazed by the puppetry. But I'm amazed by the puppetry in that show, and I had to laugh because the baby's talking, and the baby was like the star of that show pretty much, and I'm like, the baby sounds like Elmo. Like the baby sounds like Elmo to me because I hear Elmo in my house nonstop.
That's what's funny though.
It was Elmo.
Yeah, it's the same actor, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Elmo. Yeah,
yeah. That's why it's funny. The problem with that show is that the last episode was just brutal.
Well, they kill off all the dinosaurs.
Yeah, but in a brutal way. It's just it's tough for a show like that.
Yeah, to go from like that family sitcom to ending on such a rough topic. Like,
yes.
because lots of sitcoms have done hard topics like in the middle of it, but they never finish on it like that, right?
Well, yeah. The 3rd episode is all about the grandmother turning 72 and they're going to walk her into the tar pits. Like that's
kind of fun.
But there's a lot of like,
that's not world ending.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That show was, I was saying this too, like that was, and I was younger obviously when the show came out, and I didn't remember. I don't want to say it was like dirtier than I remember, but it was a little more adult than I remembered, I guess. But
that's the wonderful thing about many shows from our childhood is that they did actually have a lot of those jokes. We just missed them because we weren't mature enough to understand the jokes, which is a problem now when you're an adult because you have to, like, you watch shows and you're like, that's not appropriate for my kid, but they don't get it. Like
But the internet has made them get a lot more than we ever got anyway.
That's true. But even with that, like I will say this, my son has caught things on the internet, but he doesn't understand the context around a lot of the things that have been brought up to him, and it's not until I explain to him that he goes, "Oh, that's what they meant." Like it's still
Well, I mean, Disney does a lot of that, right? I mean, if you watch just Toy Story, and the first like 15 minutes of Toy Story is filled with like adult jokes that you don't get when you're a kid, you know. Like there's a lot of those kinds of things in there. So, but I found myself watching it, just enjoying the even for like early 90s, how cool the puppets were, you know, that the suits that they were in, and like how, you know, they can make all these facial expressions and all that kind of cool stuff. I was just the puppet piece of it, and just in like the actual, I guess I want to say the art of it, you know, was really cool to me. And I think it was the last thing that Jim Henson worked on before he died. So I think that was like his project. So yeah, I mean, you know, it doesn't 100% hold up, but it's on Disney+.
It was his haunted mansion.
Yes, exactly. Because he tried to get it done for many years. So, but anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that I was watching that. So it's on Disney Plus. So do they have it on Disney Plus Canada too, Trevor? I know you guys get stuff at different times. So
yeah, we did get it at the same time. Again, I still don't understand why certain things do and don't come to Disney Plus up here. Back to the dragon thing. I want to call out a couple of other weird dragons that people may not have been aware of, because like I said, I went down this rabbit hole. And I forgot that in the show Dave the Barbarian, there was actually a dragon named Faffy.
Ooh, Dave the Barbarian, another great show. Is that on Disney Plus?
I don't think it is yet.
Oh, Dave the Barbarian.
So,
yes, such a good show.
So that's a good dragon.
Tom must not have seen it then.
Also, here's one that completely blew me away, is that the Mighty Ducks animated TV show had a dragon in it.
It did?
Yeah. So his name is Astaroth, and he was from an alternate dimension version of Anaheim. And
Wait, what? I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
fun stuff, eh?
Wow.
So Astaroth actually might be up there for you know, cool dragon, just because of how obscure his backstory is.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, do either one of you guys go, you know, with Peach Dragon, Elliot?
No.
Yeah, I'm not a big Peach Dragon fan.
That's like an obvious one, but like like between that, like I would even pick Maleficent before that, because you know Maleficent is like, that's the dragon, right? Like,
what about Mushu? No one went Mushu? Mushu's a good one. No.
He's again. He's closer to a lizard than a dragon.
Well, I mean, he's a dragon. He's just a small dragon. That's all.
Do the tongue thing. I know.
Just a tiny dragon. That's all. We're going to talk more Figment at the end of the show too.
All right. We should probably keep moving then.
All right. Yeah. I got a little more Figment at the end. I don't know if you guys read it, but there's something funny.
I read that. Yeah.
That's great. It's really excellent. So Francisco wants to know, Disney has to eliminate one DVC resort permanently. Which one are you choosing to let go, and why? Vero Beach, Hilton Head, non-options. I don't think you're allowed to give us restrictions on this, Francisco. I think if we want to eliminate one of those two, that we should be able to.
No. Polly's gone for me.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Harsh.
Fine.
I probably won't go there again. So if I'm going to eliminate one, it's got to be one I've already been to, and one I might not go to again anytime soon. So that would have to be Polly.
Can I just eliminate the cabins at one of those resorts? Why not? Because
that's not the rules. You got to eliminate a whole DVC resort permanently.
Right. So Saratoga Springs. Boom.
Well, you hosed yourself, because since that's the biggest one, now you hosed yourself.
Yeah. Kills availability for everybody else. But so do the having the cabins. The cabins hurt too. So anyway, go.
So I would eliminate Boulder Ridge, only because of the whole Boulder Ridge Copper Creek thing that confuses the heck out of me. Just buy Boulder Ridge.
Make it one name.
Yeah, well, get rid of Boulder Ridge, and then you can have Copper Creek, and that's it.
Have them both be Copper Creek. Yeah.
No, not both. No, it goes away.
Yeah, the other one just.
Well, what do you do with the extra building though? Then there's just a building sitting out there.
Oh well,
not doing
new lounge. It's a new lounge.
Yeah,
that's quite the lounge. Yeah. It's a big building.
Yeah, big lounge.
You could build like a new Disney Quest there or something.
Oh, there you go.
Disney Quest.
Oh gosh.
There was still nothing better than that Rapids ride. That ride was the best.
It was. I enjoyed that.
I mean, it was so family friendly. It was so crazy. It was just, and it was so like new in comparison to what existed out there. Like, I just remember the paddles with the
Wheels on them.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, this is so cool.
You could do something like it in VR, but it wouldn't feel the same.
No, it definitely wouldn't. That was the best part about it. It was tactile.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's see. Chris says also random speculation / rumor, but they say that the newly released video that in the newly released video that the Epcot lounge will remain open for 2021. That seems very specific and not reassuring about years afterwards. This happens every year.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to feel kind of scared with all the cuts that this may be something that goes. I feel Chris here.
I definitely feel that too. But every year this same thing happens where they renew the lounge yearly, and it basically it's an agreement between DVC and Disney proper, and it will stay there until basically Disney decides to do something different with Journey to Imagination.
Or until DVC decides they don't want to pay for it anymore.
that too, but I don't see. I mean, right now I think Disney has it worked. Like, again, losing the lounge would mean that there's something else coming, because
I would hope so.
Because that's and I know what you're saying, Damon, that they're trying
How
to
much
cut costs
money do you
everywhere,
think is wrapped up in there?
Like, how much money does DVC pay to Disney for it?
Yeah, you got to pay for what, 3 people's yearly salaries, right?
Well, those are DVC employees anyway that are there. I think they just pay
still
for the
paying them,
space.
though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're paying them, but I'm saying they rotate those people from. I don't know where they rotate.
It's still a man year out. It's a
Yeah,
year,
it's
so.
3 full-time
Sure.
positions that you're losing, right?
But they're not. What I'm saying is DVC's not paying Disney for that because it's the DVC employees already. They're paying them for the space.
There's still money, though. They could still get rid of them and save that money. So you have 3 employees. You have whatever they're paying to Disney, and then you have soft costs.
Yeah, soft drinks.
Oh no, it's probably $500,000 though.
Probably, yeah. I think that's probably true.
I feel. I mean, scaling this versus something like Moonlight Magic, I don't think this is hitting the books nearly as hard as like Moonlight Magic events.
Oh yeah, those are definitely more expensive. I don't know how much. Like, does DVC have to pay Disney to rent out the whole park or something? Like, I wonder how that works for Magic.
I would assume so. And then again, you got to pay for, people have to be there to run the event and all that, right? Like, it's got to be expensive.
It does. It has to be very expensive. And the fact that they did so many before, last year, they were spending a lot on those events. So yeah, I mean, it's funny because I almost forgot that Moonlight Magic existed because we just, we haven't had it to talk about for a year. So just haven't even thought about it, But yeah, no, I think you're right. But they are saving money on those things right now, right? So they're not having to spend that on Moonlight Magic and any of that other stuff. And it's not like they've come up with a whole lot of extra benefits that they're giving us or anything. So
yeah, and that's why I don't think the lounge is going anywhere anytime soon, because it is still a perk. And it's, I think it's still enough of a selling point that they're not going to justify getting rid of it until, like I said, there's something substantial to replace it.
Gotcha. That makes sense. All right. So Chris wanted to know, why do you think DVC struggles so much with messaging and relating to members? I assume Damon may not care, but for operating a people-centric business, Terry Schultz really seems to be bad at relating to people. See, I think they communicate well. What were you going to say?
I just said, ouch. That's a bit of a call out there.
Yeah, it is. But I don't see, I've never thought that they communicated poorly. I mean, all the information's on the website. They email us. They put it out there on social media. I don't know. I mean, they didn't give a lot of advance notice for this video, the 30th anniversary video, but I also didn't think it was all that important of a video either. But, I don't think that they do that bad of communicating. I thought they've done a really nice job.
Yeah, but I think in relation to that video, though, it did seem a little, to Chris's point, just not reading the room, I guess, is probably the biggest thing. And
Okay.
I guess the hard part is that, even us on this podcast, we all have different things that we want to get out of DVC. So, them putting out those kinds of things doesn't, it's not going to resonate with everybody all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is. It is. Why don't we go ahead and do our ad, and then we can talk about other stuff.
All right, cool. We have DVC resale market. Okay. So DVC Resale Market, a World of DVC company, is the leader in the DVC resale industry with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. In 2020, DVC Resale Market helped over 3,600 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com or call 1-844-DVC-PROS, that's 382-7767, and please let them know that Welcome Home sent you if you ever do reach out to them.
That got clumsy at the end.
It did. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was having trouble reading that.
That's why we had the other line in. All right.
I think it was an end needed to be there.
Yeah.
The end, the no end got you, Trevor.
Yeah, I know.
It's all right. It's all right.
We try things and they don't always work, and some of us just suck at reading.
So, referring back to the video we were just talking about, I didn't watch it. I'm going to be honest. Wasn't all that interested in watching it. Just because it just didn't seem like it was anything a big deal. It was just like a musical celebration or whatever. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not really interested in that.
Yeah.
So, I didn't watch it. I just kind of saw the thing afterwards. So, we talked about already the Epcot member lounge is good until for the rest of the year. But again, that is a year-to-year thing, like we talked about. So that's every year they announce that it's good for another year. So, yeah, I mean, I think technically Top of the World is year-to-year too. Mm-hmm. But they don't. It's not as that feels a lot more permanent. So nobody really worries about that going away. This scenic selfies. That's hard to say. Scenic selfies scavenger hunt. Is launching on February 16th. It's a thing where you go and take a bunch of selfies around the parks and then you get like a pin or something. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, no.
Not interested.
Yeah.
No, don't really care.
Yeah.
The one I found interesting is that DVC is now going to allow owners to use up to 4 years worth of points for Adventures by Disney trips. So essentially, like if you want to book an Adventures by Disney trip, you can use 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, it's something, like it's entirely because of the pandemic. And
yeah, sure.
At least Disney is, they're trying to give some options instead of points just expiring, right? Like they're at the very least,
yeah.
It's, they realized, a bunch of people just losing a year's worth of points is going to leave a bad taste in their mouth and will, that has a larger effect, even though it's only 1 year's worth of points. People remember that a lot more than anything else. So, giving them at least an alternative or, being able to plan for something like this, I think they had to do it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and Adventures by Disney trips are like pretty expensive as far as points go. So, that's really interesting. They also, this article mentioned there was no mention of the 50% borrowing limitation for those bookings. So kind of seems like there's not that limitation in place that's currently there. So interesting. And then they also mentioned too 15% savings at Disney Golf Course, 20% merchandise savings, and 10% off many dining locations. So
the usual.
Yeah, kind of the usual, nothing super special out of that thing. But again, I didn't go in with high expectations. I went in with, okay, this will just be like a little promotional video, and so I'm not going to bother. So I think some people were hoping for like major announcements.
Yeah, and this is not going to be the year if that's what you were expecting. Like sorry, but even like, I realized this when, speaking of Moonlight Magic, I was talking to my wife the other day, and it was like, I realized, normally they announce Moonlight Magic in like November or December, and there's been nothing. Like, so, people asking about, is Moonlight Magic coming back this year? Probably not. So if we're not getting that, I wouldn't expect anything else to be coming down the pipe right now either.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about Jungle Cruise.
Yeah. So did you watch this video?
I did watch this video. I'm excited about this for a couple of different reasons. I'm excited of the idea of having a cohesive storyline in this ride, which they never really did before. It was kind of like jumping from one thing to another, and which part of was the charm of it. But the idea that they're going to kind of give some of the characters in the ride the backstory, that there's going to be a crash boat, like one of the Jungle Cruise boats is going to be crashed and have some chimpanzees on it jumping on it, and I guess there's also going to be there's going to be a skipper animatronic. I think I saw too, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I think it's a fun change. I think it's going to be neat. It's not. I also like too that they're not. One of the Imagineers made it pretty clear that it has nothing to do with the movie. Like that they're not doing any movie tie-in. So we're not going to see a rock animatronic somewhere out there.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I think so
that's
too.
Good. I go back and forth about the Jack Sparrow tie-in as well. It's good and it's bad, right? Like that's kind of the way you got to look at it. Well, I love him as a character. Love. And, hope that, something gets worked out and he comes back to the franchise. If that's what they're going to do, that's great. But it's still, I'm Mr. Nostalgia. So it breaks that a little bit. And I think anything like that would also break the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I think it's good they're keeping the movie stuff out of it.
Yeah, and I guess further to that is like you said, Jack Sparrow, great character, loved the movies. Having it continually in the rides, like after we're kind of past the hype of the movies.
But there's new movies coming out. We'll never be past the hype.
Well,
it's gonna continue forever.
But those particular scenes are like, those were worked into the earlier movies, and that's it. Like it kind of becomes like a weird time capsule, I guess, which eventually I don't feel that, Jack Sparrow necessarily makes as much sense in the ride the further you get away from the original movies.
I don't know how much sense he makes in the rides in general.
But I mean,
it's very forced in some places, yes.
But like, let's look at it this way though. Like if you didn't know, like let's say that character didn't exist, there wasn't a movie about it. He just looks like a general pirate character, like they could.
Does he though?
No, yeah, he doesn't look like any of the other ones.
Well,
he doesn't look like any of the other ones, and
the
focus is on him.
It's more of a modern looking pirate, but he still looks like a pirate. But you're right, he doesn't look like the other ones. Yeah, the other ones are a little more grimy and kind of, older, yes. But I'm just saying, like, he still looks like a pirate. I just think from like a time frame standpoint, like he looks newer. Yeah, I get that.
And I just don't know that. Look, I love the character, so I'm not knocking the character, but. And I love the fact that he used to, right? Didn't he used to jump in the Disneyland one every once in a while? Is that rumor or fiction?
Show up live, yeah.
Yeah,
that was the thing that happened before, yeah.
Super cool. I think there's a lot of cool things there, but man, keep them out of the rides, right? Like the ride is what spawned the movie, not the other way around.
But I do find it kind of neat that like the ride inspired a movie, and then the movie then re-inspired the ride. That's kind of
didn't. That's the problem.
No, I just think it's kind of cool that it came back around like that. But I understand your point though. I don't disagree completely.
And is it crazy to say though that there's something different about Depp playing Sparrow versus The Rock playing somebody in Jungle Cruise, because there kind of is.
What do you mean?
I just don't know if the character in Jungle Cruise is going to be as iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, bringing him into the ride seems a little even more out of place. Because again, is Jungle Cruise going to have the same amount of traction as Pirates? I mean, I guess it could, but I don't think so.
I mean, when Pirates was first coming out, I think everyone was kind of looking at the same way as, that this could either go really good or really bad, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough stories in Jungle Cruise, is there?
I think there can be, but sorry, Trevor. I don't know what this movie's really going to be, though. I mean, like we saw the teaser, but we don't really know what the movie is, right? I mean, we know what it's going to be about, but I mean, theoretically, I guess if it makes $1 billion, they're going to make it like a trilogy.
But how many Pirates movies are there? Like 8 million?
5 at least. Yeah, I think there's.
Yeah, like I said, I just think there's something a little bit more iconic about it. Which, again, while I don't love Jack Sparrow in there, you're right, Trevor. It leans on something a little bit more towards what you were saying. There's a lot of Jack Sparrow to already, right? I'm glad they just didn't do it now, especially with the Jungle Cruise not iconic from a movie standpoint. I like The Rock too. I think he's funny. I think he's good, but Jumanji is great, right?
Yeah,
I love him in Jumanji. I just don't know if it's iconic enough yet to bring him in, especially when they're doing this refresh right now prior to anything large.
Wow, the last Pirates movie was only 2017. It feels like it was longer ago to me.
Yeah. But and also think about, like, when was the first Pirates movie? Like
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's... Yeah. The problem is Pirates it's had the years to kind of bake itself in and for us to get used to it. This Jungle Cruise thing is very new. And like what you're saying, Damon, they can't go all in on it if they don't know how the movie's going to go. If they do these changes and then the movie turns out like Haunted Mansion, that's like
we never ended up with Eddie Murphy and Haunted Mansion.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Is that there's a very wide spectrum of how well received it can be, and as far as Jungle Cruise goes, the bigger problem I think is that they're framing it as kind of an Indiana Jones adventure movie with all the one-liner quips in it, which obviously Dwayne Johnson will do well in that role, but the Jungle Cruise totally misses that whole adventure part of it. Like if they try and force that into it with him, it's not gonna jive well, and then it's gonna take away the thing that people like, which is the quips and the spontaneity of the ride. Like, obviously they're trying to make it a little bit more cohesive, but it sounds like they're still leaving it open enough that the skippers have a level of control over the flow of the ride, right?
Yeah. I think they'll always have that, right? So, but it is kind of cool to have like a cohesive storyline, because you guys have all been on Jungle Cruise before, where there are people that are on it that just kind of don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of people that just don't get it. Like, and just don't understand why everyone's laughing and at the bad jokes. And I kind of think this is going to help a little bit to have a cohesive story. It will help some of those people. And it'll still be funny. Like, they're saying, like, listen, they're still going to make it funny. Like, they're going to still have that same kind of tone, the same bad jokes. There's just going to be more of a story around the characters that are in there and more of a cohesive storyline. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that upset about these changes. I think it feels minor, and to the point where it doesn't even sound like they're going to close the ride for it. Like, it just kind of sounds like it's going to happen sometime this year, right? They didn't even say that the ride's going to close.
I'm sure there will be a closure, just like every time they've done upgrades to Pirates, is it goes down for a month or two or whatever, and then it'll be in there. One thing to know, so the boats that are crashed on the shore and stuff. Again, with them kind of making it more cohesive, those boats. So the names of those boats were actual ride boats at one point that were decommissioned,
which is cool. It's a fun little Easter egg for.
Yeah. Again, bringing it all back into the universe of the Jungle Cruise, right?
Exactly.
So,
exactly. So this is cool. I think it's going to be fun. And like I said, I'm glad that they're not putting it as part of the movie either. And they're not, and Damon, I think you wanted to talk about the Jungle Cruise game.
I did. Yeah. So I did get the Jungle Cruise game. It's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's kind of fun, I would say. It is a little simplistic, right? But that's okay. But it was definitely an enjoyable game to play. So I'd consider it a fun family game.
That's a game I wanted to buy when I saw it was coming out, and I just didn't get around to it. So it's definitely one that I want because it looked kind of fun. So is that one? Is the game tied to the movie or to the ride?
I mean, you're pretty much just trying to get to the end, and what it's about is that you're trying to pick up your cargo and all that, right? And then at the same time, you have to kind of guess at which family is gonna be the one that, I don't know, makes it to the end, and whatever that case may be. What ends up happening there is they're worth more points at the end, so you kind of have to. Oh no, I guess there's these little spots where you can stop and you can see what families are at each one of those locations. You have to guess who the family is at the end, and if you do, you get more points. And you're just kind of going around the board. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So it has a bit of a clue thing going on with it.
Yeah, a little bit more simplistic, but yes, for sure.
Okay, I'll definitely have to check that one out.
It's expensive though. All their games are expensive, man.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's not cheap.
There's a lot of games that are real. Like if you buy like Catan, which is one of our favorite games around this house, it's like $60 for that game. It's crazy. Yeah. Some of these board games are pretty pricey, but
oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
Just imagine how they are up here.
Are they even more expensive up there?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Like $80-$90.
Jeez.
Yep.
That's crazy. All right, so the new lightsaber model that you're gonna be able to build at Galaxy's Edge has been announced, and I don't know. I'm not familiar with
nobody
this
cares?
at all.
Go ahead.
Kestis? I should know who that is, and I don't.
Well, and it's from a video game. That's why I figured both you guys would know.
Is this
Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this Fallen Order? Because I never played Fallen Order.
Yeah. I'm not familiar.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. I was like,
cool.
who is Cal? Okay, yeah, he was. I thought he was working for Vader in that game, or maybe I'm confusing it with a different one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played that game, and so, but I'm only like, I don't want to say a casual Star Wars fan, so I don't go like deep into Star Wars. So I thought maybe when I read this name, I was like, all right, well, maybe this is just from like the animated show or like, one of the other shows that I haven't watched, and that's why I don't know about it. But apparently this one's from the video game, which I think it's kind of cool. They're bringing something from the video game into real life. That's kind of neat. But have you guys looked at it? Did you look at the picture?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and it's definitely a cool lightsaber. I like that they kept the damage to it intact, or at least on the prototype.
Well, and apparently you can also make it like a double-edged one too, like so you can do a double, which is cool.
Well, I think all of them you can do that, right?
Oh, really? Can you do it with all of them? I thought it was only certain ones, but
maybe. Yeah, actually,
I
guess thinking about like Dooku's and stuff, you probably couldn't do a double.
Yeah. I'm surprised Damon doesn't care about this. I thought this would be something that Damon would be interested in.
Damon does really not care about this.
Wow. Okay.
It's hard, right? 'Cause, it's nice to look at these things, but I'm never going to make one. Like I'm not going to be, again, partly because I never played the game, and I enjoy Star Wars, but also I find at different points, like, I'll deep dive into it and then I'll kind of pull back and not be as interested, particularly with the games. I have a very big love-hate relationship with the games because some of them have been really good over the years. And then there's other ones that just did not feel good at all. And I think by the time this one came out, I was kind of, I was still salty from Battlefront 2. Which was a game that came out a couple years ago that, it wasn't as good as I had hoped it was going to be. So I think I kind of avoided this one just based on that, which, may have been a mistake. But it's hard to get invested in every single thing about Star Wars, right? Because it's not always it's not always as good as they make it out to be.
Yeah, no, I get that. It is this. I mean, I'm assuming this game was somewhat good then because obviously this won a fan vote. So I guess some people played this and liked it. I guess I don't know. This won't be available till fall, by the way. They're just previewing it now. So, all right. Well, we don't have to talk about that anymore. We can go do our other ad for the episode.
Maybe you'll do better than I did.
I'll try to.
You will. You will do better than me.
All right. I'm feeling confident, but this is our new ad, though, so I haven't done this one a bunch of times. All right. So, Monera Financial. If you're looking for financing options for your DVC purchase, look no further than Monera Financial. Like we talked about earlier with DVC resale, if you're looking to buy DVC resale, look to Monera Financial to help with your financing. Monera, a World of DVC company, is the industry leader for financing DVC resale contracts. Monera offers lending with no credit checks, often very low down payments, terms as long as 10 years, and no prepayment penalties. If you're thinking of purchasing a DVC contract, go check out their quick online quote first. You might be surprised at just how affordable joining DVC can be. Go to monerafinancial.com or call 317-245-8800, and most importantly, let them know that Welcome Home sent you. Just a lot of silence from you guys.
Okay. I was waiting for that one to settle in.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I'm excited about this, maybe just selfishly because I'm going to be at Epcot for the Flower and Garden Festival, so I'm going to get to check out some of these places. But pretty excited for the announcement of all the different food kitchens out there. And we don't have to go through these one by one. We just really quickly go through them. And I didn't list them in our outline, so you actually have to click on the link if you want to see them. But so there's going to be one in Germany that has Bavarian bites, as it's put here, which sounds good. A cider house, which I'm very much down with. I don't know if you guys are into cider, but I love a good cider. I don't know if these are alcoholic ciders or if they're just apple ciders, or I don't know. Do you guys do ciders? Just me?
Not really. I'm just reading down this list. Yeah, the ciders don't sound interesting. The one that stood out to me was Trowel and Trellis, which is
Trellis.
It is not what I would associate with the name of a restaurant, but apparently the food there is it's all plant based.
Yeah, it's all
seems
plant-based
quite
meats.
inventive. Yeah.
Yeah, that one sounds good. I like the honey bistro, which is all honey based things, which sound kind of cool. I like that idea. And then the citrus blossom, lemon, orange, and lime. I'm a big citrus person, so I think that sounds fun. There's a bunch of things in here that look good to me. We'll have to, when they release the menus, we can go through the foods, but. Yeah, right now we just see what these are going to be. But I'm excited about this. I'm excited to go. I'll definitely take a lot of pictures of everything. And I think we don't plan on doing any dining that day. We're going to do, just eating around the world, basically.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to call out Disney or any of these particular places. So this last week, I actually found at my local grocery store that somebody made a non-dairy cheesecake, which it was actually good. Like I bought a slice of it and I had it and it was good. Like to me, it was, it satisfied that same flavor of cheesecake. If these places, can't handle doing more non-dairy stuff, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm just saying. So I hope whatever comes of these, these places, they need to be more inventive. And that's why that one place stood out to me, the Trowel and Trellis, is it's like, hey, they are starting to, think outside the box and go beyond, obviously people can't eat, certain things like dairy, gluten, whatever. I want to see more options like that, please.
Yeah, that would be good. I think it's cool that they have an entire booth just filled with, like you said, the plant-based meats. That's pretty cool. That they're doing that. But yeah, it'd be nice to have more of those options too, Trevor. I get that. Yeah. So we'll talk about this more when it gets closer and we can actually see, some of the different food items. We go do our normal food thing that we like to do. But, so the festival starts March 3rd, runs through July 5th. So like I told everybody, I'll be there at the end of April, walking around. So, I'm really scared about this trip, by the way, because we only have 3 days that we're going to the parks, and I put 1 day for Hollywood Studios, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, if I don't get Rise of the Resistance, if I don't get in that virtual queue, I'm going to be so mad because I won't have another time to do it. We didn't do park hoppers, we just did straight tickets. So I'm like, if I miss that, I'm going to be so mad.
Now, you don't have to be in the park anymore to get.
No.
Okay.
No.
So
yeah. No, you don't. So that is a benefit of absolutely. But I'm just I'm just worried about it. I don't want to not get it. That would really suck.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I mean, it's
always going to be there. That's the thing. Like if I miss it, it's not like it's going to be gone next year.
True.
Or whenever the next time I go. So it's just
The hard part is it's like you said, it's that having such a limited window for these things right now is just adding a whole extra level of stress, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you on your adventures.
Well, not for a few more months.
Yeah, I know.
But, but thank you. Mm-hmm. All right, so Disneyland updates. So I'll let you cover the different Disneyland updates as our resident Disneyland person.
As the only person who set foot in Disneyland.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah.
So Disneyland Resort pass holders will be known as legacy pass holders now. Discounts will continue and other perks are to be announced, which interesting that, it's good, that they're still allowing the previous pass holders to still get their 30% merchandise discounts, until February 25th. So it sounds like for people who still have annual passes, they're at least giving them some options to use them for the next month. What it sounds like is that with after February 25th, after the 25th, the discounts will still be in place at Downtown Disney and Buena Vista Street, but obviously Disneyland is still not open. They are also going to be obviously they are going to be opening Downtown Disney and California Adventure again just for shopping and dining, which again is a start, but I think it's still going to be a ways before the parks actually open in California. And it sounds like anybody who is a legacy pass holder can't assume that that their passes are just going to suddenly come back into effect when Disney opens back up again.
Well, no, because they canceled everybody, right? So,
well, and this was their trick with that, is that they've canceled old passes and they now call them legacy pass holders just so that they can still make use of their discounts and everything. But going forward, there won't be anything allowing legacy pass holders into the parks. That seems to be how they're getting around
exactly.
That.
Like they don't have an annual pass anymore, but they just still get some of the perks.
Yeah. Which again is fine, and it's just one of those things that Disneyland is just in a worse, California is in a worse spot than Florida at the moment. So just got to be patient, and hopefully that they're talking about February 25th. I'm hoping that by beginning of March we might actually see some plans for reopening in Disneyland. That would be nice.
Yeah, I just saw today that one California amusement park announced that they're going to be reopening on May 11th, assuming everything goes to plan.
Yeah.
So who knows what Disneyland's going to do? I'm sure, they're a little bit different than I forget what park it was. I don't remember. I read it, but there was, Disneyland's a little bit different than like an amusement park. So
yeah. Yeah, it was either Knott's or Six Flags.
I think it was Six Flags, I want to say, but I could be wrong. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that's just a big roller coaster park.
I think it was a Cedar Fair park, so it probably wasn't Six Flags, but I don't think it was Knott's Berry Farm either. So I don't remember. But yeah, somebody said they were going to open in May, so we'll see. We'll see what Disney does.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. All right, so
the last thing I have on here. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, so this next one, I feel a little hurt by this.
Yeah,
but I mean, I also understand it too because he's a busy guy. So Eric Idle doesn't remember filming Journey into Imagination with Figment, which, you know, he very prevalent, I can't say words today.
He's very prevalent in that ride.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is it's funny and a little sad at the same time that, you know, yeah, he obviously filmed all these scenes, and it came out on Twitter, or somebody tweeted him some stuff from Journey into Imagination, and I can't remember what he mistook it for. Wait, I said something about he loved working with Don Rickles, and it's like, what does that have to do
What
with
are you
anything?
talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
He thought it was the two-headed dragon he did for Warner's Quest for Camelot. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's that was a cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then someone else pointed out, no, that was Figment. And then he said, he goes, to be fair, I never saw the finished thing. I just recorded voices in LA. And then someone else reminded him, no, you actually filmed stuff. Like you were actually in it.
Like you were in a studio filming, and wow. But
yeah.
But again, I get that. You know, he's definitely a busy guy. Like, you know, if you've ever watched Monty Python stuff over the years, he's done quite a lot of stuff, and unfortunately, it, you know, for as many of the roles that we get attached to, there is lots of actors and actresses that they don't remember all the roles that they've been in, which is crazy when you think about, you know, how impactful it is to us, and to them it's, you know, they just go somewhere, they record something for a day, but like, you know, like Eric said, you know, he didn't see the finished product, so to him it's just like, okay, I did this thing, and you know, he has no idea that it's like a major feature of a theme park somewhere.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for him though too, because I think, you know, part of it is because he, you know, he's an older guy too. He's probably almost 80 at this point. He's got to be. So yeah. I mean, he probably doesn't remember it. He did it a long time ago. You know, I get it. It's just kind of funny because it's seen all day, every day. You know, at the most popular theme park, and so many people have seen it, and he doesn't even know that he did it. So it's just kind of funny.
Yeah. All right. What was
Damon,
this?
did you put something on here about Ratatouille stuff?
Yeah, I put stuff on there.
Yeah, what is this?
It's just, okay.
So I guess Lee was saying that she posted in the group that there's some Ratatouille stuff now out there, so she was hopeful that the ride would be soon. But I thought the stuff was kind of cool.
No,
this is in the group.
You know, it is kind of cool. I actually just sent you guys a link. I pulled it up real quick. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in here, like you know,
I like the plush a lot, actually.
The what?
The plush.
Oh, the plush is cool. Yeah, I like the plush.
The ears are okay.
Can I point out how wrong those ears seem? Like they're rat ears compared to mouse ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. or also that. Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, nothing against rats. First, let me say that, but it's just, you know, in Disney, like, you know, where Mickey Mouse is the mouse, and then you have rat ears.
And I like the plush, but what I'm gonna say is, why does the Remy plush have to have Ratatouille's adventure on the hat? Like,
so you don't forget where you got it.
You got to brand the ride, man.
No, but it talks too, I guess.
Yeah, it speaks in English and French.
Cool. Yeah, I like it. I just wish it didn't have that on the hat. Like, you want to put like a thing on the butt that says that, like, okay, but
That's
it just
fine, yeah.
kind of breaks the illusion of the talking rat.
I get that.
Yeah, it's a little too in your face.
Yeah,
It's fair.
and then I think like Lee's going to be just too mad if we don't talk about those. What are those things again? Numios.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
They're the little plushes that you can dress up or something.
I have no idea what you're talking
They
about.
looked kind of cool.
Cabbage
What is
Patch
it?
Kids?
Numos or something? Nuimos.
Numos?
Yeah, they're kind of neat, I guess. They're these plush characters, but you can kind of design them and put like gear on them and stuff like that. If you just Google it, they're on Shop Disney.
Oh yeah, I found on the Disney Parks blog. I found.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're kind of cool. Like, I get it. It's funny though that in the pictures that it's all adults with them on the Shop Disney.
It's not a kid, yeah.
But
That's funny.
Oh,
I think they're
apparently,
kind of neat.
I think these started in Japan,
I would assume so.
which is probably why you see a lot of adults with them, because that's like it's a big thing over there, like collecting plushies and, well, just collectibles in general.
I think that if they go beyond the regular characters, like if there was DuckTales of these, like I might be kind of in on it. I'm not going to lie to you. But just the regular characters for me are just passe. Like the Donald one looks cool, right? But I'm just like, well. But if you gave me, like, I see that there is Stitch, which is kind of neat. But if there was other characters, that would be kind of cool.
Well, that just shows you that, the fact that Stitch is there, that it started in Japan and China, because Stitch is huge in those areas. Yeah. Stitch is like one of the more popular characters, I think, in Japan and China. So
Yeah, he took over their tiki room.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is definitely kind of cool, though.
It's interesting. It's different. I've never seen these. These are
If they
cool.
if they expand, like I said, if they expand the line, I think it would be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool. But I felt like we kind of had to mention them. So those were the two things. Lee, I got you. So
Got you covered, Lee.
Don't say we don't talk about your posts. We did. We talked about 3 of them at this point now.
There you go.
Just this episode.
Look at that.
I think I might. My son always likes Stitch stuff, so I'll probably have to look at getting him one of these Stitch plushies.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we just go ahead and wrap up?
Oh, well, let's see. We got the group, right? So the group's been doing well. A lot of new people. Thank you, everybody. So just remember that Tom said when we get 2,000 people in the group, he's going to give something away. I don't know what that is, though. I don't think Tom knows what that is.
I said that?
It sounded like, well, you don't like plushes, so I feel like we had to.
I don't remember saying that, but okay, sure. We can give something away. That's fine. I'm cool with it.
So Tom just said we're giving something away at 2,000 listeners.
Yeah, so not the 2,000th person, but a rando of the 2,000.
Yeah.
I mean, we can, anytime you guys want, we can give something away. That's fine. I don't care. We'll be at 2,000 in no time, like in a day or two.
Nah, I don't know about that. I mean, that would be nice. But our group is growing well. Thank you, everybody. I mean, I'd love more people posted so I could take some breaks. I know my posts are awesome, so I get that, but I get tired, so that's all. And I appreciate everyone that went in and got us over 200 now iTunes reviews. That was super nice of everybody.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
like
guess
222 now.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's what I like to hear. So much appreciated.
Yes, definitely appreciate that. All right, Trevor, you want to wrap up?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, as usual, if anyone wants to reach us, if you have questions, if you have stories you want to share or anything, please send us an email at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com, because we love talking to you guys. And if you want to get us on Facebook, you can reach us as Welcome Home Podcast. And as Damon mentioned, if you haven't joined the group yet, it's the Welcome Home Disney waitlist. Make sure you get in the group, because there is lots of great discussions that go on in there. Everyone's very cool, very relaxed. It's a very fun group, and we'd love to see more of you guys in there that listen to the show. And if you have, you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast on YouTube. Anytime we do live shows or anything like that, you will see those pop up on YouTube in case you miss them. We do post them on Facebook, but you can always go back and watch them again on YouTube. And if you have an Instagram account, you can always follow us as Welcome Home Pics. We post there a couple times a week. And if you want to get some merchandise, make sure you go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out some of the stuff we have there. We can get masks and mugs and t-shirts, and I don't know if is there been anything new up there besides masks? I know masks have been the big thing for a while. I actually haven't looked if they've added any new stuff to the store lately.
I'll be honest, I don't know.
Okay, well, if you guys see
I'll have to
something
take a
new,
look.
yeah, make sure, yeah, we'll have a look. But if you guys, and I guess further to that, if there's other stuff you guys want to see, not hats, you're not getting hats. Don't ask for hats.
You're not getting hats. Just stop asking for hats. That's funny.
Hats are special, so no.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, if there's other ideas you guys want to see on the store, make sure you let us know. And as usual, as Damon said, The reviews on iTunes are great because it does help more people find the podcast and, hopefully get more listeners and more people in the community. But please make sure you do leave us a review on iTunes. If you like Tom, leave a 5-star review. If you like Damon, leave a 1-star review. And somewhere in the middle, I guess I'll take the rest. So
no, all 5 stars. I refuse anything but 5 stars.
Wait, so the thing is, there's been some funny ones. So I like the fact that we're getting people giving us funny ones, and we're getting closer, I think, to being able to just type in "Welcome Home Podcast." Like if I do iTunes "Welcome Home Podcast," we come up first. I think if I flip flop it though, the problem is we don't come up first. So I don't know. What would you say, Tom? 220? It's 208.
I just saw 222. I thought. Did
you?
I don't know. That's maybe we're looking at different numbers, but it's over 200. So
it's over 200. So again, well, we appreciate. Jeremy tried to get funny on his. Jeremy, I'm sorry to tell you, I just don't know how funny it was.
Take that, Jeremy.
He's got some good ones. All right, so the one from AG Steve.
Yeah,
that was good. I've listened for nearly a year, and these guys are pretty good. Damon ruins the podcast record streak of carnivores, but I guess every show benefits from an alternate view. You can really get in a downward spiral and forget to eat, sleep, or shower if you try listening to all the back episodes. For those starting up their own podcast, if you don't have Damon on your podcast, then you need to rethink your hosts. This guy the guys have lots of banter. Trevor, it's me too. I can't read today too.
Yeah, it's a day.
It's a funnily word. It's oddly worded because he's taking parts of the negative reviews and inserting them into his. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah. So let's say about banter, but mostly good things going on at Disney DVC, but aren't afraid to tackle the tough topics like Disney calling anything poutine if it has fries. If I have one complaint, it's that I love hearing about DVC, but Damon drags down the shower curtains in the villas. Why does he have to hate the shower curtains so much? He may show up as a Muppet, but we're still so close to finding out who Damon really is. That was funny.
It's funny, yeah.
But the other one is good too. Murphy YM said that her crazy friend, I didn't know if it's a she. Hold on. So it says, a friend recommended this podcast to me years ago. They told me this is the best podcast available. Well, this was my crazy friend. So of course I listened just to prove her wrong. 2 years later, I look forward to seeing this podcast in my podcast player. Don't tell my friend she was right. There we go. Yay.
I just like that first one you read, that they took little clips from all the 1-star reviews and put them in there, like the downward spiral. And
that was good.
There's a couple funny things in there, funny references. So,
yep.
So please review us if you haven't done so already.
And just be funny. So you don't have to be mean. You can just be funny, though.
Yeah, sure. If you're going to be mean, at least be funny.
There you go.
There you go. All right, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, any podcast app out there. You can just search for Welcome Home and you can find us. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, any and all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC representative or Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Big thank you to our sponsors, DVC Resale Market and Monera, for sponsoring this episode. Please check them out. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a hug when we hit its hair.